So the next problem, H index, is kind of simpler. So now given an array of integer citations where citation I is the number of citations a researcher has received for the ith paper, return the researcher's H index. Now H index is a popular thing, and any researcher you Google on the internet, let's say Jan LeCun or Andre Karpathy, you will always get their H index. It kind of represents the quality of research. So H index is defined the maximum value of H, just that the given researcher has published at least H papers that each have been cited at least H times. So researcher has published at least H papers. He has at least H papers, each of which themselves have been cited at least H times. So it's 30615 means the researcher has 5 papers in total, of each of them having received 30615 citations respectively. Now, how many of these have been cited? Since there are 3 papers with at least 3 citations, the remaining 2 with no more than 3 citations each. Okay, H index is 3. So again, so what are the topics here? If you expand it, it's just sorting and counting sort. So it's not that hard. So let's just take this the 30615 problem. So this would be H index problem, and this is just like counting and sorting, counting, sorting concept, and 30615. So here the first paper 3 has been cited 3 times. Second paper, unfortunately, has been cited 0 number of times. Third paper 6 times. The fourth paper 1 time. The last paper 5 times. So what is H? Such that the H is the number of papers each have been published H number of times. So now how do you go and find it? Well, if you take let's come from like 1. So is there at least one paper which has been published at least 1 times? Yeah, we do have that. One paper has been published 1 time. This has been published obviously at least 1 time. This was one at least 1. So let's go 2. Has the first paper been published 2 times, at least 2 times? Yes. Are there at least 2 papers which have been published at least 2 times? Yeah. So if you go 3, are there at least 3 papers which have been published at least 3 times? Yeah, so this has been published at least 3 times, this paper at least 3 times, this at least 3 times. Let's go for are there 4 papers which have been published at least 4 times? No, we don't find that. So that's the answer. So 3 would be the H index here. So 3 would be the H index in this case. So how do you go doing this? Well, basically, first we just sort the thing. And so here for sorting, it would become 1, 0, 1, 3, 5, 6. And heat position, basically take H is has 0 been at least is 0 at least as big as n minus I. What is n here? Well, n is 5. 5 minus I would be, yeah, so 5 minus 0 is 5. So 0 is not greater than that. So what about 1? What is 1 is at least as big as n minus I. 5 minus 1 is 4. 1 is not greater. So what about 3? Well, 3 is indeed as at least as big as minus 5. Well, 5 minus 2, which is 3. 3 is indeed as big. So H would be maximum of H initially was 0. Let's just say we always take the opposite of what we need. So H and minus I, here we got H as m minus I would be 3. So we have 3. For the next position, 3 comma, so h as at least as big as is 5, at least as big as n minus I, which is 5 minus 3. 3. So 5 minus 3 would be 2. Is 5 is greater than or equal to 2? Yeah, of course it is. So now 2 and 3, we still get h as 3 as maximum. So go to 6 is 6 at least as great as at least as big as uh, n minus I, which is 5 minus I is 5, I is 4, which is 1. Is 6 at least as big as 1? Yes, of course it is. So, and again, if we try to take maximum, we get 3. Now, why exactly are we comparing this average index with the n minus I? Why? Because if each paper has to be published at least n times, I mean, at least, let's just say, like, if when you have sorted this thing, we have sorted it in ascending order, which means that uh, the paper at this position, let's just say the second position, has to be greater than or equal to at least, it has to be at least as big as the total number of papers published minus quantity. So basically, it has to be at least as big as this. That's what's the point in it. So, I mean, if 3, I mean, since we have sorted it, it means that if 3 is here, it means that it has been at least published 3 times. If, let's just say, if this was 4, means that since this is sorted, there are at least 4 times this has, if this was 4, obviously this wouldn't be 3, this would have been 5, and yeah, this would have been 5. So it means that it has been published at least 4 times. That is exactly why we are doing this. So it's explanation. So figure it right at the code. IH index takes only citations, so let's say cite, and so you just sort the thing, and you take, I mean, h as just 0, and in length of set, and now we just go for loop for I in range of n is the site of I least as big as n minus I, because we have sorted it. If it is at least as big as n minus I, it means that it has been at least published. It means that there are at least n minus I other papers which are at least as big as this very number. So which equals maximum of h and n minus I. Turn h, that's it.